What if one deal with the devil could turn an ordinary man into hell's deadliest weapon? One signature, one cursed ride, and Johnny Blaze loses his soul forever. Tonight's story is about the legendary Ghost Rider, a man trapped between humanity and hell, and once the fire awakens, there's no escape. The story begins with two fearless stunt bikers, a father and his son. Their bikes tear through the air like bullets, engines roaring, crowds screaming, flames bursting everywhere. The son's name is Johnny Blaze, a young rider addicted to speed, danger, and applause. Every stunt he performs feels like he's challenging death itself. But during one dangerous jump, Johnny loses control of his bike. The motorcycle spins violently, and he crashes hard onto the ground. After the stunt ends, his father walks over calmly and tells him, "You messed up this time, kid. Next time, be more careful." His father wasn't angry. He understood what it meant to live on the edge, because both of them had spent their entire lives risking death for entertainment. Later, while heading home, Johnny notices a paper lying on the floor. At first it looks ordinary, but the moment he reads it, his entire world falls apart. His father has cancer, terminal cancer. The news hits him like a knife to the chest. His hands start shaking. His breathing becomes heavy. For the first time in his life, Johnny Blaze feels completely helpless. Desperate and broken, Johnny tries distracting himself by repairing his motorcycle. But then, a mysterious old man suddenly appears beside him out of nowhere. His presence feels strange, almost unnatural. The old man stares directly into Johnny's eyes and says, "I like the way you ride. Maybe one day, you'll work for me too." Johnny laughs awkwardly and replies, "What, you into bikes too?" But the old man smiles coldly and says something terrifying. "No, my favorite hobby is making deals." The atmosphere suddenly changes. The air feels heavier. Johnny's smile slowly disappears. Then the old man says something impossible. "Your father has cancer, doesn't he?" Johnny freezes instantly. Shock covers his face. "How do you know that?" The stranger leans closer and answers in a dark, unsettling voice. "Don't ask questions you're not ready to hear the answers to." Then he offers Johnny something no son could refuse. "I can cure your father." For 1 second, hope returns to Johnny's eyes. But then the old man finishes his sentence. "In exchange, I want your soul." Johnny thinks the man is insane, some crazy old freak trying to scare him. But the stranger pulls out a contract. Before Johnny can fully understand what's happening, a pin suddenly cuts his finger. A drop of blood falls directly onto the paper. And just like that, the deal is sealed. The next morning, Johnny wakes up in bed confused, thinking it was all just a nightmare. But then his father walks into the room completely healthy, smiling, alive. The doctors can't explain it. The cancer is gone. Johnny stares at him in disbelief. That's the moment his life changes forever. But deep inside, something no longer feels human. Father and son head back to perform another stunt show, but Johnny seems distant, lost in his own thoughts. His father notices and asks him what's wrong. Johnny finally admits the truth. "I'm in love with Roxanne." He tells his father he wants to leave this life behind and go away with her somewhere far from the stunt world. Then he asks something deeper, something he's been hiding for years. "How long am I supposed to keep risking my life like this?" But the real question is far more terrifying. Did Johnny really make a deal with the devil? Does his soul belong to someone else now? And will this cursed deal destroy everyone he loves? As the story continues, Johnny says passionately, "I want something more from life." Hearing this, his father smiles proudly and hands him the keys to his legendary bike, the same motorcycle Johnny dreamed about riding since childhood. His father quietly says, "Go live your life, son." Those simple words become one of the last memories Johnny will ever have with him. Johnny's closest friend was Roxanne. The same day, a massive crowd gathers for another stunt event, because Johnny's father is about to attempt an enormous bike jump. The energy is electric. Everyone is cheering. Cameras are flashing. Engines are screaming. But within seconds, everything turns into horror. Johnny's father loses control during the stunt and crashes brutally to the ground. This time, he doesn't get back up. The crowd falls silent. Johnny's world shatters instantly. And in the middle of his grief, that mysterious old man appears again. Johnny explodes with rage. "You've been following me. You killed my father." His voice cracks with pain and anger. "How did you know about cancer?" The old man calmly replies with zero emotion, "I cured his cancer. But our deal never said he would survive." That single sentence destroys Johnny emotionally. The stranger steps closer, touches Johnny's chest, and whispers in a chilling voice, "I'll return someday. And when I do, you'll leave behind love, friendship, and every relationship you have. Because from now on you work for me." The moment he says those words, Johnny's body jerks violently. He collapses onto the ground screaming. His eyes begin glowing bright red like burning fire. Something evil has awakened inside him. Later, Johnny tries meeting Roxanne, but something feels wrong. He can't explain it. Fear, guilt, darkness. It's all consuming him from the inside. Without saying a word, he walks away from her. Years pass. Johnny Blaze eventually becomes the world's most famous stunt rider, a man who laughs in the face of death. Crowds worship him. Reporters follow him everywhere. Every stunt feels more impossible than the last. This time, Johnny has to jump his bike over multiple cars at insane speed. The crowd watches in complete silence. Johnny launches into the air, but suddenly loses balance and crashes violently onto the ground. People panic and rush toward him. His body lies motionless. Everyone thinks he's dead. Then suddenly, Johnny opens his eyes calmly and asks, "Is my bike okay?" The entire crowd is stunned. Nobody can believe a human survived that crash without a scratch. News channels explode with headlines. The media calls him invincible. People begin saying, "This guy isn't human. He's some kind of iron angel." Even his friends joke nervously, "Maybe God himself is protecting you." Johnny laughs it off. "Don't start talking crazy too." But at that exact moment, the movie introduces something far darker. A mysterious bar appears on screen. The door slowly creaks open. A strange figure walks inside. The temperature drops instantly. The air becomes cold. Everything around him begins freezing as if time itself stopped moving. Everyone fears him. His name is Blackheart. The moment he enters, chaos begins. He brutally murders several people without hesitation. But some of the creatures inside the bar aren't human either. They ask him nervously, "Why are you here?" Blackheart answers in a cold, deadly voice, "I'm looking for the contract of San Venganza." He reveals that the contract is hidden somewhere nearby, maybe in an old graveyard or abandoned land. Then he says something terrifying, "The moment that contract belongs to me, the entire world will belong to us." One of the demons asks carefully, "What about your father?" The scene suddenly cuts, revealing the same old man who once tricked Johnny Blaze into signing that cursed contract. And now the truth becomes horrifyingly clear. That old man isn't human. He's the devil himself. Blackheart angrily tells him, "It's my time now." But his father responds coldly, "Your time will come, but not today." Blackheart smirks and threatens him, "You know you can't stop me." The devil replies, "Maybe not, but my rider will." Blackheart's face fills with rage. "I'll bury both you and your ghost rider alive." Now we finally understand the terrifying truth. Ghost Rider isn't a hero. He's the devil's bounty hunter. The story then shifts back to Johnny Blaze, who is preparing for the biggest stunt jump in history. Reporters surround him from every direction, throwing microphones in his face. But Johnny says coldly, "I'm not here for interviews." Then suddenly, a familiar female voice speaks behind him. "So, not even for an old friend?" Johnny turns around, and standing there is Roxanne, now a television reporter. For a moment, the years disappear between them. After the interview, Johnny prepares for another impossible stunt. But this time there aren't cars below him. There are 6 giant helicopters. The entire audience holds their breath as Johnny races forward at insane speed. His motorcycle flies through the air over all 6 helicopters effortlessly. The crowd erupts into deafening cheers. People can't believe what they just witnessed. Later, Johnny meets Roxanne again. She's still angry at him because years ago he promised they would run away together. But on the night they were supposed to leave, Johnny never showed up. Even after all these years, that betrayal still hurts her deeply. But somehow Johnny manages to calm her down. and the two agree to meet later that night at 8 p.m. As Johnny gets ready for the date, something horrifying starts happening to him. His hands suddenly turn blood red. Steam rises from his skin when he tries washing them. Then he hears a strange voice whispering his name. Johnny turns around quickly, but nobody is there. And then his motorcycle starts on its own. The engine roars like a beast waking from hell. Suddenly, the mysterious old devil appears again. Johnny angrily asks, "What do you want from me now?" The old man smiles darkly. "I was never far away, Johnny. I've been with you all these years. And now it's time for you to do your job." He orders Johnny to hunt down and destroy Blackheart. Johnny refuses immediately. "I'm not doing your dirty work. Why don't you kill him yourself?" The devil's expression becomes deadly serious. "You don't have a choice anymore. You signed the contract. And once the job is done, I'll give you your soul back." Johnny desperately tries starting his bike to escape, but it won't move. Then the old man slams his cane onto the ground. Instantly, the motorcycle ignites to life by itself. The bike suddenly shoots forward at terrifying speed. Cars nearby are blasted away from the force. Flames erupt from the wheels. Fire explodes behind him like hell itself opened on the streets. The speed becomes uncontrollable. Johnny is thrown violently into the air. Then comes the moment that changes everything forever. His entire body bursts into flames. His skin burns away. His flesh melts into fire. And slowly, Johnny Blaze transforms into something no longer human. A flaming skeleton wrapped in chains and vengeance. Ghost Rider is born. A cursed warrior of hell. Moments later, Ghost Rider confronts Blackheart directly and says in a terrifying voice, "You broke the rules. Now you return to hell." But Blackheart ignores him completely and orders his 3 demonic servants to attack. They smash Ghost Rider with a massive truck, crushing him beneath it. Believing he's dead, they leave. But they made one fatal mistake. Ghost Rider cannot die. The truck driver watches in horror as Ghost Rider rises from the wreckage surrounded by hellfire and burns him alive instantly. While riding through the city, Ghost Rider spots a thief stealing a woman's purse. In seconds, he saves her. Then he grabs the criminal and stares directly into his eyes. His voice echoes like a demon from another world. "Feel every pain you ever caused others." This is Ghost Rider's deadliest power. The penance stare. Every sin, every scream, every ounce of suffering the criminal caused comes rushing back into his soul at once. The thief begins screaming in unbearable agony before dying instantly. Ghost Rider doesn't just punish evil. He makes sinners experience their own darkness. Wherever his burning bike rides, the streets melt red beneath him like the road itself is burning in hellfire. Eventually, Johnny slowly transforms back into his human form and collapses unconscious. When he wakes up, he finds himself inside a strange room. As he steps outside, he sees that mysterious caretaker again. The old man stares at him and quietly says, "What happened tonight will happen again." Johnny looks at him in confusion and fear. There's something strange about him. Something ancient hidden behind his tired eyes. In a cold, serious voice, the old man says, "Who I am doesn't matter anymore. But one thing I know for sure, you are now the Ghost Rider. And without my help, you won't survive for long." But Johnny has already suffered enough. He's tired of being controlled, tired of depending on others. With anger buried deep inside him, he refuses. "No, I'm done taking help from anyone." The old man stares directly into his eyes before revealing the horrifying truth. "You made a deal with the devil, and every promise made to hell must eventually be paid." Those words hit Johnny like a nightmare he can't escape. Then the old man explains something even more terrifying. Johnny's life no longer belongs to him completely. During the day, he may still look human, still be Johnny Blaze. But once the sun goes down, something else awakens inside him. A spirit of vengeance. A creature born from fire, pain, and damnation. The Ghost Rider. Johnny, shaken and confused, asks quietly, "Was there another Ghost Rider before me?" The old man smiles slightly, almost like he's remembering a painful memory from long ago. "Yes, around 150 years ago. In a village called San Venganza, there was another Ghost Rider." As he speaks, the atmosphere grows darker. That village was once peaceful. Families lived happily there. But then evil arrived, poisoning people's hearts with hatred and greed. Friends turned against friends. Brothers murdered brothers. The entire village drowned in blood, and even today, the souls of the dead still wander there screaming in pain. Johnny immediately realizes this must be connected to Blackheart. So what does Blackheart have to do with all this? The old man suddenly looks disturbed. Wait, you're going after Blackheart? For the first time, fear appears on his face. He's not alone, for ancient beings stand beside him, creatures cast out of heaven itself. They've been waiting for the end of the world, waiting for darkness to finally rule everything. Then he warns Johnny, "For now you're safe here. They cannot enter this holy ground." Johnny nods respectfully. "Thank you for telling me the truth, for telling me what I really am. But staying hidden isn't an option anymore. I can't stay here. I have to go." When Johnny returns to the city, he's shocked by what he sees. The entire place looks destroyed. Streets are cracked apart. Cars are overturned. Smoke fills the air. Terrified people are running everywhere. Chaos has already arrived. And standing in the middle of it all is Roxanne, reporting live from the disaster scene. The moment she sees Johnny, frustration explodes from her voice. "You disappeared again, just like always." Before Johnny can explain anything, she walks away. That pain hurts him more than any curse ever could. Back home, Johnny desperately searches through old books about the Ghost Rider, trying to understand the monster inside him. That's when he discovers something shocking. If he gains enough control, he might be able to tame the cursed fire burning within him. Slowly, carefully, Johnny begins testing his powers. Flames erupt from his body. Chains burn red hot. Hellfire surrounds the room. For the first time, instead of fear, Johnny begins controlling it. But peace never lasts long. A little later, Roxanne returns. Her anger is gone now, replaced with guilt. "I'm sorry. I didn't mean to talk to you like that." As she looks around the room, she notices old photographs of them together, memories from happier days. For a brief moment, it almost feels normal again. Johnny quietly says, "Come on. I'll walk you to your car." But deep down, Johnny knows this is a terrible idea, because night has already fallen. And nighttime means only one thing: the Ghost Rider is waking up. Outside, Roxanne looks at him emotionally and asks, "What's really wrong with you, Johnny? What do you actually want?" Johnny takes a deep breath. "If I tell you the truth, you probably won't want to stay near me anymore." Roxanne answers softly, "At least give me the chance to decide." Finally gathering enough courage, Johnny tells her everything. The curse, the devil's contract, the terrifying creature hiding inside him, the fire, the skull, the murders, the pain, every horrifying secret. But Roxanne simply cannot believe it. To her, it sounds impossible. Insane. Heartbroken and confused, she leaves him standing there alone. Meanwhile, the destruction across the city gets blamed entirely on Ghost Rider. The police finally capture Johnny and throw him into prison, but they have no idea what happens after sunset. As darkness takes over the sky, chains begin rattling inside the cell. Bones crack. Fire erupts. Johnny transforms once again into the terrifying Ghost Rider. In a massive explosion of hellfire, he smashes through the prison walls and escapes into the night. Now he only wants one thing: Blackheart. The moment Blackheart learns Ghost Rider is coming for him, he sends his demonic followers to stop Johnny before it's too late. At the same time, the police are chasing Ghost Rider through the city. And suddenly an insane chase begins. Blackheart's demon runs ahead. Ghost Rider races after him on his burning motorcycle. Police cars scream through the streets behind them. The entire city becomes a battlefield of fire and destruction. Then comes one of the most unbelievable moments of the night. Ghost Rider reaches a giant skyscraper. But instead of stopping, he rides straight up the building. His flaming bike tears across the walls vertically as fire explodes behind him. People below stare in complete horror. And Roxanne finally realizes the truth. Everything Johnny told her was real. On the rooftop, Ghost Rider catches Blackheart's wind-powered demon. But normal attacks don't work against him. Then Ghost Rider slowly removes his burning chain, wraps it around the creature, and unleashes hellfire so powerful that the demon is burned into ashes instantly. Later, Johnny returns to the mysterious old man in the graveyard. Desperate, exhausted, and running out of hope, he asks, "How does this end?" The old man answers quietly, "Only Blackheart's death can end this story." Then he shows Johnny an old grave. This man was also a ghost rider. He explains that 150 years ago, a contract containing thousands of corrupted souls was hidden away before Blackheart could claim it. Now Blackheart wants that contract because it would give him unimaginable power, enough to bring hell itself onto Earth. The old man gives Johnny one final warning. Stay away from the people you love. Blackheart will use them against you. And sadly, that warning comes too late. When Johnny returns to Roxanne, Blackheart is already there waiting. The demon attacks instantly. Within seconds, Johnny transforms into Ghost Rider and stares directly into Blackheart's eyes. Feel the pain of every innocent soul you destroyed. But Blackheart only laughs. I have no soul. That terrifying realization changes everything. Ghost Rider's greatest power is useless against him. Then Blackheart threatens Johnny. From now on you work for me, not my father. He grabs Roxanne and disappears into the darkness. If you want to see her alive again, bring me the contract at San Venganza. Now Johnny has no choice. He rushes back to the old man. I have to save her. The contract is hidden with the old man, but he refuses to hand it over. This could destroy the world. Johnny looks at him with tears and determination in his eyes. Maybe I sold my soul, but I still have my humanity. I still know what love means. For a moment, the old man stays silent. Then finally he nods. You made your deal out of love, not greed. Maybe God still believes in you. Maybe you're the only one who can stop Blackheart. Then he says something unexpected. San Venganza is 500 miles away. We leave now. Johnny looks confused. We. The old man whistles and suddenly, a glowing horse appears from the darkness. He climbs onto it slowly and says, My final ride has finally come. Then he puts on his hat and transforms into another Ghost Rider. Yet, he was the Ghost Rider from 150 years ago. Together, both Ghost Riders ride across the desert like spirits from hell itself, flames lighting up the night sky. When they finally arrive near San Venganza, the old rider stops. My journey ends here. Johnny asks, Why? The old rider smiles sadly. I only had one last transformation left, and I saved it for tonight. Then Johnny rides alone into the darkness. As soon as he enters the cursed land, the final surviving demon attacks him using deadly water powers. But Johnny no longer fears the monster inside him. Within seconds, hellfire explodes around him. Ghost Rider returns stronger than ever and burns the demon alive. Now only Blackheart remains. The final battle begins. Johnny demands Roxanne's release, but Blackheart violently throws her aside. Johnny pretends to hand over the contract, but suddenly transforms and attacks. The fight becomes brutal. Fire against darkness, chains against demonic power, hell against hell. As the battle continues, sunrise slowly begins appearing over the horizon. Blackheart takes advantage of the sunlight and throws Johnny into it. Immediately, Ghost Rider disappears, and Johnny becomes human again. Blackheart opens the contract. Thousands of evil souls enter his body. His eyes ignite with terrifying power. Now he's stronger than ever before. Roxanne begs Johnny, Please let's leave. It's over. But Johnny shakes his head. No, I started this fight, and I'm the one who's going to finish it. Then he says the words that define his destiny forever. Because I am Ghost Rider. The final showdown explodes into chaos. Johnny's bullets do nothing. Blackheart overpowers him easily. Roxanne jumps in and shoots Blackheart repeatedly, but the demon heals instantly. Her gun runs empty. Everything seems lost. Then Johnny slowly picks up the weapon. But now it's no ordinary gun anymore. It has transformed into a weapon burning with hellfire itself. Johnny fires. The blast tears Blackheart's body apart into pieces. Souls escape screaming into the air. But somehow, Blackheart survives again. And then Johnny finally understands how to destroy him forever. He locks eyes with Blackheart and says, Feel the pain of every soul whose blood was spilled because of you. This time, the thousands of corrupted souls inside Blackheart become his punishment. Every scream, every death, Every ounce of suffering, Blackheart feels all of it at once, and his soul burns away forever, destroyed by the very evil he created. In the end, the devil himself appears before Johnny. "Your job is done. You're free now." But Johnny smiles for the first time. "I don't want freedom." The devil's face changes. Johnny continues, "I'm going to use this power against you. Wherever darkness rises, I'll be there to fight it." Furious, the devil slams his cane into the ground and vanishes into the shadows. And with that, the legend of Ghost Rider comes to an end. A story filled with pain, fire, sacrifice, and redemption. Because sometimes, the thing we fear most becomes the very weapon that saves us. And sometimes true heroes aren't born in the light. They rise from the darkness itself. If you enjoyed this terrifying ride through hell itself, don't forget to subscribe to the channel, because more dark legends and mind-blowing movie stories are coming your way next.